Hey guys, this is Jan and welcome to day 113 of my 100 days of making comics, in which I give you a little update on my job situation while showing you some of the drawings I've been making in the last couple of days. So let's do the comic book, because that's why we're here, and then you can zone out. The comic book, I've gotten some very nice remarks from people, and I've gotten some excellent feedback from Gazbot that I'd like to share with you. Gaz mentioned that he had a little trouble following along the story, as in my storytelling, like which way to go, whatnot, on the actual pages, and he pointed out some very specific things. So really for me to sink my teeth in, especially when it comes to the dialogue and the balloons and lettering, but mostly about the sequential art. And so I've really been thinking about that, and I'm thinking of redoing the opening of my comic book. So whereas now it starts with the, in the comic book, now in case you don't know what I'm talking about because you're new, I've made a little comic book. Took over 100 days, spent a little bit of time every day, working very hard on it. And this comic book, I'll make sure to put in the links from now on every time, so anyone who's new can find it and read up straight away. You can read as a little PDF, which looks awesome on my iPhone. Very, very happy with that. So yes, the comic book. I'd like to redo the opening scene. And there's a couple of pages where I can totally see what he means, and obviously at the time I thought about that, but I thought I was being smart. And now I see, like, okay, I'm just going to first attempt to rearrange these 3 panels over here, and otherwise I might just have to cut them up completely and make some new art. It's all okay. But what I'm really thinking about is maybe redoing the opening scene at all. Right now it gives you the big opening reveal of the scenery and like where you are and the wanderer, but you don't really know anyone yet. So I'm thinking of redoing the opening scene from the point of view of the scavenger kids. And then you get to see someone who's actually managed to run off. And then you get to meet the people who are in charge of them and the actual vessel that they're on board of. I mean, it would change things up a little bit, and it could be interesting. I'm not gonna like go in all the way as in inks and gray tones like the comic book. I'm just gonna sketch it out. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. That's my plan. And then continue what I've been doing in the last couple of days on and off, which is making more pages, making more roughs or pages, and fleshing out the story more and more beyond the initial 10 pages that I now have. So that's out of the way. So why am I very comfy lying here? Well, it's because it's past 10, and I've noticed that every time the temperature just shoots up, and in the last couple of days it's been getting very, very hot, and I hurt my throat. I don't know why that is. I think I may have just overdone it over the weekend a little bit. But I'm beat. Like, this heat, us northerners, you know, we're only accustomed to this heat for like 2 weeks at the most for a holiday. To actually live in it is hard work, man. Like, I almost don't know how to get anything done now that I've actually got a few days off, which brings me to the update. So my job update, I've got a job, and it's not the restaurant. No. Yesterday, after 3 weeks of looking for a job, first week not getting anything, not a single response, and then slowly getting the odd response here and there, and then getting invited to a trial shift. I found an ad looking for people who speak Dutch, and I jumped for it. And then the people I spoke to on the phone, they were so keen, or maybe I made a good impression, but basically they started sharing my information, and all of a sudden on one day, instead of having 1 phone interview, I ended up having 3. And then yesterday, instead of having 1 job to quit from, I had 3 jobs. And So I went from you know, clinging to the one trial I had this weekend and thinking to myself, well, this is it. I have this job. It's, you know, it's okay. It's a beautiful restaurant. Amazing food. Definitely issues at this restaurant, but people not smiling. And like throwing me off the deep end without any training. But that being said, very nice people, but most of all, like, it was hard work and it was a stunning restaurant on the beach. I'm very happy I got to have that experience, you know. But it was too far away, which might seem a little odd because the beach is just half an hour that way, but the beach is very long, and where this particular restaurant was, it was like a 20-minute walk from public transport just along the beach to get there. So it was a bit of a pain that way. So yeah, so yesterday, all of a sudden I had 3 jobs. I had to quit the job at the restaurant. I had to decline one offer. I took one. And then this morning another restaurant called, and it's like, so I've been over the moon with like this sudden rush of like people calling me to sort out contracts, whatnot, and like, it may seem like a strange thing, but like, as I spoke in previous videos before the weekend, it's this whole mentality of like being a freelancer, working for yourself, being your own boss versus being an employee. And I've been an employee all my life, and so, you know, with my savings taking a big hit because of this whole Brexit thing and the pound losing, you know, being at the lowest it's been in like 31 years, and the end not being in sight. You know, straight away, I to feel safe and like to, you know, you revert to what you know. And so I'm very happy now that I have a job, and I don't just have any job. I actually have a job, an office job, using my language as the main skill. Air conditioned. Pays more than the restaurant jobs. Restaurant jobs here are clearly not very well paid. They take the tips and they pool them and whatever. It's very different. It's very different from London, that's for sure. Depending where you are, what restaurant you are in London, obviously. But yeah, this is definitely a very different kind of job, and I'm kind of excited about it. It's, you know, now for the move. I have to talk to my friend and see what I can do with the move. But like, finishing up my train of thought about the job, it's like, you know, I feel a lot more comfortable, and I've got a couple of days off. How nice is that? And they did pay me this weekend, even though it was a trial shift. They could have just stuffed me completely, but they didn't. So I have a little bit, like, you know, everything is going well. I'm very happy. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and like, things are falling into place. Comic book is moving along. I really want to get some roughs out in the next couple of days, so that when I don't have time, especially time to think, because next week I'm going to have to take in a lot of new information on the technical side of this new job. You know, I can just draw along. I can just, as I've been doing in the last couple of weeks, I know everything is lined out, and just draw. So I don't have to think too much about it. So that's where I'm at. This is now all of a sudden a very long video. Sorry about that, but thank you for watching. And I hope to see you tomorrow on day 114 of my 200 days making comics. This is Jan. Have a nice day. I'm off to bed now because it's too hot. Or maybe this Marco Polo series. I'll let you know tomorrow.